Hello, welcome to some more Dicentra. I'm your host, Lady Evil. And, I'm actually kind of nervous to play. Since so much happened last time. You know, Babel isn't here anymore. The, the man. The man. Who knows? I get the I get the feeling that I get the feeling that he knows we're here. Like, that we're still alive. Right? And I get the feeling that he's been watching us. Like the house has eyes or something. I don't know. Did anybody else? Anywho, let's get into it, shall we? The morning air is cool against my face. My eyes close in anticipation, knowing it won't stick around as the day grows heavy with the midsummer heat. I shift awkwardly in the window seat as I watch the sky grow brighter. The wolf sleeps so soundly on the small blanket I had placed down for him. He'd probably puff up if he knew he was sleeping with his belly exposed to me so comfortably. I feel my lips stretch into a small smile, then a frown. It was so quiet that I couldn't sleep. When it's quiet, I can hear every little sound in the house. And that makes it easy for me to notice that something is missing. Oh, poor girl. She misses Babel so much. It's been like a week. In game, by the way. It's been like a week since that happened. There's one less ghost to go bump in the night. My ears are waiting for the sounds that aren't there. My eyes are waiting for shapes that aren't there. Why is it that the ghost of a ghost has so much more presence? Something breaks me from my thoughts. I hear a slight cooing sound right next to me. I look down and see a small brown bird sitting on the sill of my open window. My mouth parts. A mourning dove. It softly calls to me and hops on weightless feet. I lean forward and slowly reach my fingers out towards it, wondering if its feathers are as soft as they look. It flies away before I can touch it. Oh. Let out a soft gasp and the corners of my mouth fall once again. Pull my hand back and lean my head against the wall. I let out a sigh as I watch the dove disappear into the sky. The sun is starting to rise over the trees and its light hits the painted colors on my window. Like everything about this place, I have it memorized. The same clouds, the same shades of blue and pink, the same rays of light that pierce through the leaves, the same shadows. A foolish part of me keeps thinking the day will come where I will finally get to see a sky I've never seen before. Wood creaks. Only one person makes that sound. His day has begun. I search for a glimpse of the mourning dove again. Instead of wings that fly around freely, all I see is the sky as it begins to bleed red. The brightness of the sun is smothered as the moon devours it and takes its place like a celestial doppelganger. Huh? Out of the corner of my eye, the rainbow lights that dappled my room have vanished. I close my eyes and rummage through the depths of my thoughts for somewhere to hide. Will today be a good day? Or a bad day? I hear the wolf snore and look down at him. I said I would help distract you, but it's been you who has been distracting me. Oh, moon. Wait. Is it like an eclipse going on, or what? The sun is gone. I open my eyes, blinking in confusion. I've completely forgotten what had woken me up in the first place. I distinctly remember falling asleep to glittering stars and darkness. So I'm surprised to see the moon is still so high in the sky. Oh, and red. So much red. Scarlet bleeds to every corner of the sky. The light from its atmosphere bounces off the floorboards of Dove's room, casting everything in an ominous glow. I thought we had gone to bed late. I must not have been sleeping long. I stare at the full moon outside. My heart is pumping like it knows something my brain doesn't. It must be an edge from lack of sleep. But I don't feel tired. I feel feel like the moon's face is looking right at me, waiting with a patient grin. Majora's Mask! Like it can't wait to witness my reaction when I figure out the answer to the riddle it's given me. I feel my fur grow stiff. I swallow. It's morning. But why on earth was it? No one home. Please leave. Come back next time. Thanks. I jump 6 feet into the air when someone bangs on the door to Dove's bedroom. Out of instinct, I rush under the desk beside Dove's bed. I remember it clearly now. It was that exact banging noise that pulled me from my sleep in the first place, and my voice is starting to go. Ah! Oh! Dove suddenly appears before me and clamps a hand around my muzzle. I start to squeal, but she throws a finger in front of her mouth to silence me. The banging continues. Oh God, is it him? I hear someone rattle the locked doorknob. Dove, open the door. Dove glances in the direction of the man calling for her. Oh, it is him. Just a moment, Father. Dove's neutral answer is a stark contrast to my trembling form. Her gaze swings back to me, and before I know it, I'm being hauled off my feet. My immediate reaction is to thrash in Dove's arms. Is she about to offer me up to the witch? Oh! I try to whimper through the iron grip around my snoot, but she squeezes tighter. Shh! I freeze in her arms. My eyes are wide and full alert, and my chest expands rapidly from the frantic breathing. Dove offers no form of comfort. Instead, she spares me one last glance before she throws me into darkness. Oh. I land on plush blankets with a small bounce and a slight yelp. I see a small glimpse of Dove staring down at me before she closes the gap between the thick curtains of her canopied bed and extinguishes all of the light. It's like I've suddenly been thrown into a pit. My ears twitch at every subtle noise. The scent of wilting lilacs floods my senses. It's as if Dove sleeps with decaying flowers in her pillowcase every night. My heavy breathing sounds so loud in the darkness. I try to tame it as best as I can, in fear it can be heard beyond the curtains that shroud me. I hear Dove's bare feet drag along the wooden floor. Then a click and a creak. Then heavy footsteps enter the room. My bones nearly jump out of my skin from the sound of lightning that breaks through the quiet. Wasn't it clear just a moment ago? I swallow hard. New noises start to appear out of nowhere. Wind howls outside so loud it's like ghosts humming in unison right outside the window, crying to be let in. Dove's bed curtains begin to ripple, revealing silvers of red light. I can't find Babel anywhere. My entire body tenses when footsteps land right in front of me. The curtains flicker again. Then all I can see is him. You wouldn't happen to know where they are, would you? Dove's father stares down at her from the tip of his nose. His hands are crossed behind his back. Did you check the rooftop garden? Yes. The kitchen? Yes. Under the table, perhaps? Dove. Enough of your games. The witch closes his eyes and rubs the bridge of his nose. Find that bloody ghost, or I'll find a replacement. Is that a threat? Yes, Father. When he opens his eyes again, I see his eyes catch on to something I can't see. The tension in the room suddenly rises. Oh, is it her books that she's been, like... Wait. Oh, no. You better have a good excuse for this one. The blanket on the floor. Fear begins to crawl its way up my throat, threatening to spill out in a cry. The witch's eyes drag upwards to Dove, then to the walls. He begins to search the room. Oh, crap. I stop breathing. The sound of the storm becomes muffled for a moment, amplifying the sound of every creak and heartbeat inside the house. A noise in the darkness of Dove's bed makes me go completely still. It sounds like wood knocking together. And by the looks of it, I'm not the only one that's heard it. The witch stares directly into the dark between the curtains. My urgency to stay hidden isn't shared, it seems. Red eyes peer right at me. Every beat of my heart feels like an eternity passing by. Then he looks away. I think it's fair to consider myself the biggest fool of all time, considering where I've landed myself, but I'm not foolish enough to let out a breath of relief just yet. Alright, just one more thing. The witch reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small black pouch with dots of silver on it. I asked a sister to craft a small gift for you. I see him place the pouch in Dove's tiny hand. Then I hear the clinking of delicate metal. Thank you. The witch nods, then turns and makes his way out, finally disappearing from my view. Now go find Babel for me. I have much to do. Dove's door slams closed. Whatever hides with me rattles again from the vibrations of the door, and I take that as my cue to launch myself out from the canopy. I tumble out from the dark curtains and slam right into a pile of books, sending me into a dizzying heap on the floor. Once the ache in my body wanes, I shake my head to get my bearings back. Dove's room was already a mess, but now it looks like a hurricane has swept through it. Stacks of books have been shoved around and knocked over. The furniture has been pulled away from the walls and left askew. Oh. Loose sheets of paper cover huge sections of the floor, leaving little paths of clear floorboard left to walk on. How on earth did I sleep while she made this mess? I finally look for Dove and find her standing by the window. Rain beats violently against the glass panes. The storm outside rages in full force, and the temperature in the manor has dropped significantly since yesterday. Dove holds something up close to her face that reflects the bright white of the lightning outside. A bracelet. Tiny charms hang from the thin silver chain. Huh. A rose, a sun, a moon, and a heart. Dove seems completely enamored by it in a way I've never seen before. Pretty. I stare, captured by the sight of her. Warmth colors her pale cheeks, and a new brightness softens her eyes. My heart tightens. I've forgotten, or maybe I keep refusing to acknowledge it because I've had to rely on her confidence so much, but Dove is just a child. Just like me. She's unsettling and abrasive, yet when I see her like this, or when I see her get excited over something, I want to look up. I want to look at her up close. Maybe to see whether I'm hallucinating or not. Or maybe because Dove burns like a star. Her face glows a blinding light, and her hair is a dark expanse that cradles it. Before Dove, I've only ever known stars from far within my reach. Dove moves away from the window to the desk beside her bed. She sets the black pouch down, then places the bracelet on it like a display. She seems to like it a lot. Does she not want to wear it? I wonder, he asked. I'm assuming his sister being like another witch, right? Because to a certain extent, they're all family. I wonder if it's not enchanted. Ooh, secrets. Her attention has already moved on from it, however. Now, what to do? Dove twirls around and faces me with her hands on her hips. There's no Babel to find. I perk up and my ears stand up straight. But there are other ghosts to find. Once Dove gives the clear for us to move out of her room, the first thing I notice is how different the house has become once again. Like when I first arrived, it's cold and threatening. All of Dove's efforts to make the mansion more homely seem to have been undone, as though it were nothing but an illusion spell. Dust cakes the floor, spiders crawl on webs in dark corners, and the windows cast red patches of light that do little to brighten its surroundings. I lead the way on cautious paws, vaguely remembering the way to the study. When we finally get there, I realize there's a problem. The study is now occupied. Oh. I peek through a crack in the door, and the witch busies himself with grinding herbs in a mortar. To his side, I see a floating quill pen moving on its own, jotting down notes he mutters under his breath while he twirls the pestle. I look under the desk he works at and spots the chest with the ghost remains peering out of the shadows. The day after Babel left, Dove had returned to the study to put the chest back in its place. Good idea. I didn't anticipate sharing this space with its owner so soon, so the thought of taking the chest didn't cross my mind. Dove hovers above me and takes a glimpse inside as well. Her expression turns green with shock. Wait, you're not thinking of getting the rest of the ghost's belongings, are you? I nod eagerly. Her eyes grow wide. Was Babel not enough? I blink. What's wrong now? My brows pinch together. I shake my head and hear Dove's breath hitch. I look back to the chest. We can't just stop at one. Out of the corner of my eyes, I see Dove take a step back and twist my head to look at her again. Her hands clutch around the skirt of her nightgown. She looks at me, conflicted. Oh, girl, she's terrified of her father. He's using the ghosts. Because remember, what in a previous episode, if you didn't see it, I'll give you a quick rundown. Cliff Notes! Cliff Note evil! The dead give them power. For people who are witches like him, and potentially her, having the dead around them give them magic. So, I'm thinking even as they are ghosts, they still give him some form of power. And that's why he's kind of like frantic, like, where's Babel, where's Babel, where's Babel? Like, will he still have magic? I keep trying to say mana. Will he still have magic when all the ghosts are gone? Or will it be completely null? We'll see. Not knowing how else to convince her, I slowly walk towards her. Dove stiffens as I approach. I pause right before her and she looks down at me in anticipation. I blink at her, then I brush my body against her legs. Dove gasps at me, or above me. I push against her and curl my tail around her ankles. What are we, a cat? Dove stands as still as a statue as I run my fur around her legs, causing her to stumble slightly from the force she didn't expect me to use. After I finish circling her, I look up at her with bright eyes in hopes that this time I can get her to put her faith in me. Dove peers down at me with a blush on her cheeks before closing her eyes and taking a deep breath. She then pushes past me and enters the study. Father, water is dripping from the ceiling of the library. What? Hells, did the books get wet? Hurried footsteps make their way to the door and I quickly scurry into the shadow. We didn't think about this too much! Scurrying into the shadows to hide. The witch stomps out of the study with Dove hot on his heels. She casts a quick glance at where I sulk before they both disappear down the hall. I waste no time running into the study. Now it's my turn. I'm breathing hard. We do it? Yeah! Oh god, this is gonna be awful. Are we gonna do this all in one go? I'm breathing hard when I make my way back into Dove's bedroom. The second I shut the door with my back paw, I spit out the ghost's belongings from my mouth and wipe my tongue on the fur of my arm. For some reason, I had this mental image of Basil dragging the chest into the room and I'm just like, that'd be inefficient. There's no way this puppy can carry everything. Oh wait, no. He can carry everything. I look at the pouch. Bundle of hair and bone on the floor. Oh gods, I hope that wasn't disrespectful. I twist my head to search around the room. Dove hasn't returned yet. Oh no. Should I try to look for it? No. Or should I just burn these in one go? Do it! A knot forms in the pit of my stomach at the thought. No. Dove needs to be the one that does it. Feeling resolved, I pick up the artifacts with my teeth again and look around for somewhere to hide them. My eyes land on my quilt on the floor, and I pat over it. That's an awful decision. I dig my nose under a cover and to flip it over, then gently place the objects flat in the ground before I flip the corner back over them. That's inconspicuous enough for now, I suppose. Hopefully, by now the witch has returned to his study and will remain there, busy with whatever he was doing, so I can go find one of the ghosts. I gravely underestimated how easy it would be to find the other ghosts. Babel, like the hallway ghosts, seemed to have some semblance of a pattern. But the rest, well, considering how little I know about them, they are proving to be much more difficult to pin down. I feel like I should have these nonsense hallways memorized by now, but I still find myself getting dizzy from walking through them in circles. I let out a huff in frustration as I quietly survey a hall from around a corner, only to find nothing once more. Stupid ghosts! A voice yells from down the hall, and my heart all but leaps out of my chest. You must really like the feeling of falling. Do I have to send you flying again for you to learn how to stay out of my way? I don't recognize the voice, but the sound of dragging that follows it is awfully familiar. Growl! I quickly spin around and, well now, who might you be? The air in my lungs feels like it's been punched out of me. Who? A figure stands before me and looks down at me like a cat that enjoys playing with its food before it eats it. His eyes are wide and his smug grin is feral. Does Duff have a brother? Does she have a brother? Oh no! It's a carbon copy! Because this boy looks just like her. The only difference is a smudge of dark markings around his blood-red eyes. It can't be. There's another witch here? Oh. Oh, no! You're not like the other pets that she tried to keep. The boy circles around my petrified form like a predator. Down the hall, I catch sight of Grell disappearing around a corner. I let out an internal cry, seeing the opportunity to catch it slip away from me. The child steps in front of me once again, blocking the way. I'm not a fan of intruders. He glances behind me, but unfortunately for you, she is of a different opinion. Oh. My ears perk up at the sound of feet slapping on wood. A white gown takes over my vision as Dove skids to a stop in front of me. Her wild hair flutters like delicate feathers with the heavy breaths she makes. What are you doing? The boy grins and crosses his arms behind his back. Oh, nothing. I was just... The boy's eyes cut to me hiding behind Dove's skirt. His gaze is sharp like a knife. Saying hello. Dove's hand curls into fists. Just hello? The child chuckles. Well, it's far too early to say goodbye, isn't it? It seems we've lured in something quite interesting this time. I swallow. We? And the blood caps seem to be blooming well from the last one, so I have no need for this one. Uh-oh. Oh no. Wait a second. Neurons are firing. He narrows his eyes at me. Yet. I can see Dove go rigid. The boy bends at the waist to see me better, but she steps in front of me to block the view. My, so protective of your new little pet, aren't you? He leans back again and retreats a step. Very well, he's a special one, I suppose. The glint in his eyes make me feel completely exposed. I can't wait to see how long this one lasts. Dove seems to take that as a sign to hightail it away from this boy as she sweeps me off the ground and crushes me against her chest. Stay away from him. As Dove carries me away, I keep eye contact with the boy, who maintains a sly smirk and watches the distance grow between us. No need to tell me twice. Just before we round a corner, I see the boy suddenly stumble forward and break into a violent cough. Dove's pace falters for a moment, but she manages to speed up to get us further away. Oh, there is something very... The mushrooms. It's all the mushrooms. Surrounding the mushroom, oh, wait. Oh, no. Dove has not spoken another word to me since we ran away from the boy in the hallway. Logically, that makes sense. I'm not human after all. But that hasn't really stopped her from doing it anyways. I still have yet to wrap my mind over the encounter with someone new. Someone who is a witch. I think some of Dove's stress is rubbing off on me. Dove has always been the most composed between us, so to see her acting so antsy has me incredibly on edge. Anything that worries her worries me even more. Dove sits where I now expect her to be the most of the time, on the floor. I guess it shouldn't be surprising that the little side table she had previously repaired has fallen apart once again. Her solution to get it standing again is to solder it with thick globs of glue, wrap even more twine around it. This plan is not working as well as it did the first time. I can see Dove lost her patience with every new wrap around the broken wood with twine. I count every new impatient twirl Dove makes with the twine. 21. 22. 23. Oh, the twine ran out. Dove stares at the empty roll with a stunned expression. I feel anxious looking at her. Did she think it would go on forever? A shadow falls over her face. I brace myself. Dove shoots to her feet with the table in hand and smashes it to pieces on the floor. I narrowly avoid the splinters of wood flying towards me. Ooh, girl. Dove stands up, panting and staring at the mess she's created. That stupid old... The broken leg of the side table hangs loosely in her hand, but not for long. Why must I have to fix everything by myself? Her fingers wrap around it tightly, then without warning she throws it with all her might at the wall covered in mirrors. I wince and my ears flatten at the sound of glass shattering. It's screeching. Dove's hands fly to her ears to smother the screams that come from the broken mirrors. She pinches her eyes together before opening them to throw a smoldering glare at the reflective shards. Quiet! I've never seen Dove lose her temper like this. Somehow, I can almost completely ignore whatever on earth had created that screaming, which had quickly died down after Dove's scalding, in favor of watching her pace a circle to the floor. The more time I spend with Dove, the more she gives me with a side of her I've never seen before. At this point, I could fill a room of portraits, displaying all her complexities. Dove terrifies me so much. But at some point, the fear I felt for her changed from the kind that makes me want to run for the hills, to the kind that makes me want to stay and see what happens. What do I do? What do I do? Dove gnaws on her thumb as she paces back and forth. Oh, poor girl. A deep wrinkle forms between her brows by the time she finally slows to a halt. Dove stops chewing on her nail and looks down at me. My eyes widen when I see the face she wears. I don't want him to take you too. I see tears line Dove's eyes and my heart sinks. She sniffles and wipes her face with the sleeve of her gown. The fear on her face disappears when she brings her arm back down. In its place is a fiery determination. Dove storms out of the room, leaving the dining room looking far more chaotic than when we had first arrived. Something about the sight makes my heart start to race. This whole time I've been searching for any little crack in the wall that would lead me to my freedom. Maybe I've been trying to break open the wrong thing. Now you're getting it! Dove makes her way to the supply closet in the hallway again. She yanks it open with both hands and hunches down to dig for something. Her eyes light up when she finally finds what she's looking for. I hear the sound of glass rattling. I brush against her side and look at what she's found. Dove takes out a jar with what appears to be glass beads and charms. I tilt my head curiously. She retrieves a couple more items from the closet before we make the journey back to her bedroom. Are we about to do what I think we're about to do? The moment we reach Dove's room, she makes her way to the clearest spot to sit on the floor and faces her back to me. I startle when I feel a lump underneath my blanket as I settle into it. Oh, we forgot about those, didn't we? All right, the ghosts. I was so close to getting to Grill, but I think navigating the halls would be much more perilous with that strange boy roaming around. I don't know what his relationship with Dove is, but it's clear they're related. And honestly, I can't say I'm itching to learn more about him. The witch and the boy. All I need to know is that I should stay clear whenever they're near. I look to see what Dove is doing. She seems to be completely immersed in whatever it is. My eyes roam around the room. I spot a random book that's been thrown open, probably when Dove had decided to redecorate. Pulling myself forward on my paws, I scoot up to it and trail over the words on the open pages. A book on toxic plants. A yawn forces my jaws open. I blink at the drawings on the page. Oh, I think I saw that flower in the rooftop garden. Done! And unfortunately, that's where we must stop today's episode. Ah! God! So she has a brother whom travels around with her father, because her father isn't always here entirely. And I told you guys I knew that was her father. So something is going on here. The father is using the ghosts who are the former, keepers of the house, or the former, workers of the house, kind of in this in-between state, and drawing from their energy. The boy is sick from something, and the mushrooms are keeping him alive. However, the mushrooms feed off of dead things. That's why they keep luring in people. I imagine there's some kind of spell around the house. And when you cross that spell, it, turns you into a wolf or some other animal. And then it's the dad's whole thing of trying to get that person into the mansion. Curious. Dove is about to lose her mind, man. She's about to lose it. Honestly, good for her. I'm here for that crash out. It is valid. Anywho, if you guys have any ideas or theories, just post them down below, all that fun stuff. And if you enjoyed the episode, like and subscribe. There will be more Friday. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye!